Hey guys, Stitches here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Pokemon Legends Arceus. Last time, we went out and we fulfilled Mai's request of defeating an Alpha Pokemon up at Deer Track Heights. Additionally, we came back to find the leader of the Diamond Clan, Adaman, and the leader of the Pearl Clan, Irida, getting in some sort of quarrel outside here after Ray told us to head here in order to meet Commander Kamado. And this time we will be going in. There's stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff for us to do in here today. But mainly right now we'll be working our way from top to bottom. What do you intend to do about that Commander Kamado? He may be descended from a warrior of Almighty Sinnoh, but look at the mess he's causing. We can't sit back and let him rage on. You do get right to the point, Adaman. Time wasted is lost. By the way, that's a thing Perrin says in Scarlet and Violet, which implies the fact that she's descended from Adaman. Well, tell me, what would you have us do? Cleavor is a precious lord of the Pearl Clan, is he not? That's the point. That's the point. My clan can't intervene directly where a lord of the Pearl Clan's concerned. If my people were to do something, our two clans might end up back at each other's throats, just like we used to be. But even folk of the Galaxy team have been wounded, haven't they? Seems someone's got to do something here. Who then? Will the Diamond Clan have the Pearl Clan bring down one of its own? One of its honored nobles? I don't believe I said that, though thought it may be. You might as well have said it, you fool. Look, we don't even know what drove Lord Cleavor into such a violent frenzy. I'd like to know that myself. This is as far as my clan knows, too. I see you've arrived. This is Akari, the newest member of our survey corps. I hear from Mai you've earned Weirdeer's favor. Good to finally meet you, stranger from the Rift. I'm Adaman, leader of the Diamond Clan, if you want to be formal. But that's a mouthful, just call me Adaman. If you came from beyond the space-time rift, could you be from the space where Almighty Sinnoh is said to rest? I'm Irida, leader of the Pearl Clan. Caution and foresight are my watchwords. Which is why I have trouble believing such a tale. Did you really have passed through that rift? I have a proposition. Why not send this one to study Cleavor before deciding what must be done. You'd send this stranger who supposedly fell from the rift to study Cleavor. This newcomer with no experience. Says the leader with almost no experience. Being a good leader isn't a matter of time, it's a matter of embracing Hisui's vastness without fear. Well then, there you have it. If how new you are doesn't matter, let's give her a chance. I'm sold, Commander. Let's try this your way. This should be fun. I'll get to see how good you galaxy folk really are, with all your weird ways putting Pokemon inside those strange balls and what have you. That whole practice bothers me. The Almighty Sinnoh made Hisui vast so Pokemon could live freely throughout. We're meant to stand alongside Pokemon, not count ourselves above them. We do not use Pokeballs from a desire to control Pokemon, only so that we can live together. Allow us to show you what we can do. This is your mission now, Akari. I order you to study Cleavor and help us find the truth of this situation. I accept. There's nothing, I can't say anything. Remember that you are a stranger who appeared one day out of the very sky above us. People are naturally suspicious of your presence here. If you wish to be fully accepted and trusted, you must work hard. Work yourself to the very bone. The Frenzy of the Lord of the Woods. Well, that's settled, and there's no time like the present. The Lord of the Woods, Cleavor, is descended from a Pokemon that was blessed with the Almighty Sinnoh's power. No other Pokemon you've encountered yet can compare to his strength. Be warned. Listen to me. The Galaxy Expedition team has come to the Hisui region as a group of outsiders. Some might even call us interlopers. We mustn't do anything to threaten our relations with Diamond and Pearl clans. Understand? Join me downstairs, Akari. We'll cover the details of this new mission. Actually, there's something I want to test real quick. We can come up here. I can't barrel roll off there. There's not barrel roll, but I can't roll barreling into the stairs. Anyway, you have a request for us. Radisa. Oh, splendid, you come along at a good time. I'm looking for a pickling stone, you see. Would you mind lending me a hand? Needs to be the right size to fit atop one of my pickle pots and heavy enough to put a nice, firm pressure on the pickles while they're fermenting. But I suppose it'll be hard for me to lift such a heavy thing up on the pot. The best thing would be for the stone to lift itself up. Actually, oh, I've got a rather good idea. There's a Pokemon called Geodude that lives on Deer Track Heights. It would be perfect for the job. Could you catch one and bring it to me? I'll head home and wait for you here. Or wait for you there. So, she wants us to catch Geodude. However, before we go into Cylene's office, we can of course come in here into the bulletin. We can also talk to Laventon in here. You know, I expect great things of you. Carry on the good fight out there. Interesting. He's also got these really good sketches of Pokemon here. Now, something interesting about Laventon I should probably know is I've mentioned that there's an implication he is British. This is actually somewhat confirmed in the game based on his behaviors, but it's more so confirmed in the non-English versions of the game. In the English version of the game, he uses more British phrases to suggest he is from Galar. Additionally, he also knows about the Pokemon Carparaja, which prior to this game could only be encountered in the Galar region. He also, in the Japanese and German versions of the game, will sometimes speak English. Additionally, another thing is if you actually look at this blackboard, he seems to use the alphabet that we saw present in Pokemon Sword and Shield. This actually implies the difference in written languages throughout the Pokemon world, which I think is interesting. Anyway, if we come here, we can see a few of these. A few more requests. Bothersome Bidoof. Seems a band of bothersome Bidoof keeps sneaking into the village and causing trouble. Talk to Samugi from the security corps and see if you can get anything in order. Also playing with Drifloon. It seems several people have spotted a Drifloon playing with one of the village children. Yikes! Miki from the security corps can tell you more. Speak with her and get to the bottom of this. Playing with Drifloon. There's Cyndaquil here. And there's a Rowlet up there. Additionally, there's this water tank in the corner, which is where Oshawott would be. If we hadn't picked it. But I like the fact that they put Cyndaquil inside a hearth with Ash. Anyways, if we come in here, there's a few things that'll happen. Ah, good, you're already here. Professor Laventon, the briefing, if you please. Yes, let's get right to it. So, Akari, I understand you've been requested to find out the cause of Kleavor's frenzied state. But as you're aware by now, Kleavor is a mighty thing, nigh invincible even. The security corps tried throwing Pokeballs at Kleavor when they were attacked, but I'm afraid they didn't even come close to catching him. It appears he's far trickier opponent than even those aggressive species of Pokemon that cannot be caught outside of battle once they're riled. I'd like to be perfectly clear on this point. This mission will put you in extreme danger. Do you believe you can handle it? Of course. Very well. Then let's go over the particulars. The Diamond and Pearl clans revere their nobles because they believe these Pokemon serve their almighty Sinnoh. They leave offerings to express their gratitude to these Pokemon in locations they call the Noble Seats. So perhaps a good starting point for our research should be to find out what sort of offerings they normally leave for this Kleavor. Akari, we need to speak with you. Listen. That rift in space-time seems like it connects this world to a whole other world. That world might be where the almighty Sinnoh resides. The true almighty Sinnoh, that is. The one that rules over time. So if you fell through the space-time rift, that might mean you traveled through time by almighty Sinnoh's own power. Think of it, you must have been just swimming in the... Fuck. Sorry. Think of it, you must have just been swimming in its divine might. Well, I've got a favor to ask of you, oh amazing time traveler. Don't just study Kleavor, quell his frenzy. Well, you certainly caught us at a good time, young Adaman. We were just discussing our next steps to regard this whole Kleavor situation. Oh, you must be that Galaxy Team scholar I've heard about. Good to meet you, Mr. Professor. Share some knowledge with me sometime. Now, let me elaborate a little. Those Pearl Clan types have a lot of respect for Kleavor. You heard his title, Lord of the Woods. I'm sure they'd rather get this under control too, but it's hard for them to come right out and ask those Galaxy Team. So those of Galaxy Team, of all people, for help. And the truth is that we in the Diamond Clan have a similar problem on our hands. A Pokemon dear to us off in the mountains has fallen into the same type of frenzy as Kleavor. Now there's certainly bad blood between us and the Pearl Clan, but we've all got to share Hisui. That means we ought to tackle our problems together. But there aren't many capable of standing up to such a powerful Pokemon. You're the best hope we've got. You'll find Kleavor at Grand Chiri Arena. It's in the very heart of the Heartwood. His warden is a boy named Leon. Leon is a brilliant child, but also a bit, well, sometimes brilliance can be blinding, you know. He'll tell you all about his beloved Kleavor, whether you wish him to or not. Anyway, I'm sure you're set up to the challenge. So we'll be counting on you. See you later. Wow, he just said his piece then vanished. He must value his time that much, I guess. Adaman and Mai weren't wrong, you know. If you're studying, perhaps even quell Kleavor, you'd best start by visiting his abode. Now that we've got the Heights camp, it should come in handy for getting to Grand Tree Arena. Don't forget to visit the pastures. Choosing your Pokemon team carefully makes a difference. Additionally, we should also report this. You have made progress. It seems you have earned yourself a star. And so we become a second star member. With this, you have officially attained the rank of second star in the Galaxy Expedition team. We can now use Feather Balls, and Pokemon up to level 30 will obey our orders reliably in battle. The rewards you earn for survey reports will be more generous as well. Have these as well. They are further recipes you'll need for crafting. Recipes for crafting feather balls. You need 1 apricorn and 1 sky tumblestone. We've also got the crafting recipe for super potions, which you need 1 potion and 1 pep-up plant. Continue to dedicate yourself to completing the Pokédex if you hope to rise up higher in the ranks. So yeah, I hope you understand now more so what I mean about the difference. What am I trying to say? How this game gets inspired by a lot of the different Pokemon spin-offs. The game's overall story and setting seems somewhat similar to that of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon while still having you play as a human. The game still uses a lot of mechanics from the mainline Pokemon games, just revamped into a new context. Additionally, the idea of not a lot of people using Pokeballs may be inspired by Pokemon Ranger, and because of that, a lot of the way NPCs interact with Pokemon is somewhat similar to Pokemon Ranger. I'm honestly curious how many people from those other games worked on who would go to work on this game. Finding yourself unable to pick up materials you come across, satchel always seeing full. That sounds like you. It'd be wise to lend me your ear a moment and hear what I have to say. You can carry around even more in that satchel of yours if you learn the trick to packing things in. I can teach you if you like. What do you say? Teach me. I like your initiative. My teaching fee is 100 Pokédollars. Alright. Perfect. Lend me your ear for a moment. You've made space to keep one more kind of item in your satchel. That's all there is to it. You see how much more you can fit in by packing things rightly? If you want to be able to carry even more things, there's more I can teach you. What do you say? My teaching fee is 200. So, Baggin of the Security Corps will basically give you different fees for how many things you want to be able to carry. For each new slot you've learned, it's that times 100, I believe. So, like, you know, 100, 200, 300. So for 600, you can get 3 extra items. And I'm pretty much just going to be using this. Doing this for a second. So, yeah. Although here it ramps up to 1,000. And from here it'll go up by 500. So we can actually keep 6 more items now, which is going to be useful, considering we've already been running into issues with space. I'm also going to evolve Silcoon real quick. So that's pretty much that. Now, I'm not actually sure if you can report Pokédex data while here. Oh, you can. Okay, neat. So this is complete, and this is already at research level 3. So without further ado, we should leave. So I actually, between recordings, went to go and see if I can teach Scallop Slash, and I found out that Scallop actually doesn't learn Slash until level 25, so Scallop is going to be holding off on evolution for a bit longer than I thought. I'm also going to go into my house real quick. And we're going to open the item box. You can also rename your item box if you want, if you have dedicated things. So we can move items to storage. Moving items to storage should lets you select, but move all at once will move a whole stack. You can also just grab it if you want. And I'm actually going to move our red cobblestones in there. I actually can't drag it over. Interesting. You can also organize your item storage. Additionally, we have these cake lure bases. So I'm actually going to move that there as well. And then after, I'm going to go and sell this so we have quite a bit more room. You seem like someone who enjoys a bit of crafting. Do you think you could help me out with something? I'd be very, very grateful if you'd try to craft something with a special recipe I came up with. Without further ado, here's the recipe. Got the recipe for the Pokeshi doll. Requires 3 logs of wood. This is a recipe for what I've named the Pokeshi dolls. Invented them, you see, as special items that we can make in the village. I would love to have you craft one and show it to me. I'm looking forward to see what you come up with. So if I remember right, the Pokeshi dolls actually work like Poke dolls do in the normal game, but because running mechanics simply work different. Because of the fact that, you know, running mechanics work different in this game, naturally it just makes sense. I mean, there's a request over here we can get. From Andra. Alright, if a Pokemon starts eyeing me, I'll fling an Oranberry run while it's distracted. If I just stick to the plan, I'll be fine. Oh, Survey Corps girl. I was just headed out to the Fieldlands to go gather tumblestones. I haven't got as many Oranberries as I'd like. Are you familiar with Oranberries? They restore some HP to Pokemon that eat them, so as you might imagine, Pokemon tend to be very interested in them. See where I'm going with this? Throwing Oranberries is a great way to distract and avoid wild Pokemon, so they're indispensable. With that in mind, can I trouble you to gather 5 Oranberries? We'll go ahead and just hand him the 5. I gratefully accept. Gosh, I can't believe you went through all the trouble finding these just for me. Not really, but happy to help. Thank you. Gosh, you're nice for somebody who fell out of the sky. Let's just tuck these away in my satchel. I won't let your kindness go to waste. Wish me luck with those tumblestones. And he gives you revives in exchange, so I'd say that's more than a fair trade. If anything, it's unfair in your favor. Now, a neat thing about the what are these called? Pastures. I almost called them the stable. The neat thing about the pastures is that random Pokemon from your pasture boxes will actually show up here. Also, it's believed that this gimmick may be inspired by the game Pokémon Ranch, which was a storage game with mini-games for the Wii. So I'm actually considering switching around what Pokemon we have with the ones in here, mainly because we have gathered quite a few new Pokemon. However, I think I'll leave that for next time. Really quick, I'm just going to check to see if there's any more requests. There's one by the farm. Another thing, by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned, I feel like I should have, but Jubilife Village, if it sounds familiar, is implied to be what would become Jubilife City in the Gen 4 games. What do you have to say? Listen to your survey, Core Kid. I just saw the darndest thing. I was scouring the Heartwood for crops we could grow in the fields when I saw it. This Pokemon called Cherub changed its appearance before my eyes. It was in the evening, the light was getting dim. All of a sudden, Cherub's petals closed right up. It looked like nothing but a little flower bud. Wow, I thought, I just witnessed the miracle of evolution. But the next morning when I went to check in on that Cherub, it was back to full bloom. Why would it bloom just to close back up? Is that how evolution works, or was the change I saw something different? When you finish Cherub's Pokedex entry, let me have a look, would you? This is actually a unique gimmick with Cherub. A Pokemon we don't have yet, but Cherub appear to actually change when using Sunny Day into a full bloom form. Alright, great timing. We're done gathering your harvest. Crops turned out real nice, just as planned here, but these are yours for the keeping. Got 32 apricorns. We'll do a medicinal harvest. Anyway, that's about it. I think for this episode. I'm actually quite tired. I didn't get really good sleep last night, mainly because after I recorded this game last night, I went to go to sleep, and I ended up calling my partner for like an hour because we don't talk all day because we're both somewhat busy people. But yeah, and without further ado, thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, you should hit the like button. You should also subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications when I upload videos. Additionally, if you want to see more, in the description, there's a link to my Twitter, there's a link to my Twitch, where I live stream games. Additionally, there is a coffee link in the description where you can support what I do for $3 or more. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.